Today's message, the eyes have it all. So you have to say it the right way. The eyes have it all. So when I'm talking about the eyes have it, we're not literally having a vote, yays or nays, or the ayes or the noes. The eyes have it all, meaning that the eyes, I want to talk about our eyes. I want to talk about the three sets of eyes. And so, I just kind of want to also tell you a little bit of what I go through when I think about Sundays and this talk. So this talk has been a real good thing for me. And I really feel like this is the Wired Differently experience. So I'm going to continue to put my time and my efforts into this idea of giving a quality short message on Sundays in this Wired Differently mindset. This Wired Differently mindset, this force of nature that we keep talking about, and the things that have going on not only in my mind, but in other people's minds. So I've got 30-some years of business. I've got more than that in business and clearly family and relationships. So I'm trying to help everyone understand that this work-life balance, this balance that we have from work to family, they used to call it balance, work-life balance. Well, there's really no such thing as work-life balance in a Wired Differently world. So I am the spokesman. I am the self-appointed, duly elected governor, chief of charge, the president of Wired Differently world, right? So I've appointed myself to tell you how these Wired Differently people think, right? Because I wrote the book. I'm carving out this lane for us to be free and to own who we are and to be successful. And some of the things that have happened for me through my life is this Wired Differently mindset. And so this is why I'm talking about a Wired Different way. The Wired Differently experience is me sharing what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, and why I have been successful, and the times I haven't been successful, why. But more importantly, I want you to understand that this Wired Differently experience is not about work-life balance, work in life balance. It's about work and life harmony. So I want you to understand. So a lot of the things I talk about are not just going to be about business. I know how to make money. Okay, I know how to make money. It didn't start off that way, but I learned how to make money. But what I didn't do very well in early on was how to make life, right? How to parlay the things in making business or money into make life in family. And I did good things. My kids aren't going to say things, and my wife's not going to say things, but I do know that I could have done life better than I did business better. And so I remember having to give this message. I'm already off subject. I'm going to go back. Having to give a message to a bunch of churchmen one day. And they said, Todd, we need you to come down to this campus and speak on work-life balance. We want you to talk about how to balance your life with work, God, and life. And I remember thinking, okay, I'll do it. I'm like the worst example of everything they wanted me to talk about. I'm like, wait a minute. As I'm driving down there, I'm thinking to myself, why'd they ask me to talk about work-life balance? I am like the worst guy in the world. I'm thinking to myself, as I'm driving to this Okanoka, Point Cachova camp to talk to all these men about work-life balance, I'm thinking, God, why am I driving here talking about work-life balance? Because I have no balance in my life. I'm like the least balanced person in the world. This is like 20 years ago, right? This is before I discovered that I was wired differently. So as I'm driving to Koinonia Park men's camp retreat to talk about work-life balance, I prayed basically, God, what do I talk about? I can't tell them I'm balanced. I don't even know how to tell them I'm balanced. Fast forward 20-some years later, here we are Wired Differently. And if I just would have thought about it back then through my eyes now, here we go. My eyes now, work-life balance would be more of the topic, not work-life separation. I mean, they wanted us to be, I want work-life harmony now, not work-life balance. I'm never going to balance work and life and family and kids and donuts and payroll and factoring and insurance and staffing and leasing. I'm never going to be able to balance all those things with what my wife wants, my children want, all the employees want and need. It's never going to happen, Todd. So just forget about it. Let's talk about work-life harmony, right? So that's kind of where we're going with this whole Wired Differently experience. And, I'm a spokesperson for it because, like I said, I wrote the book. So the point of the matter is that you all are a lot like me. I'm a lot like you. And there's things that we can share about that. But today's message, the eyes have it all, is part of this process of me growing still to this day. I'm 55 years old and I'm trying to figure out, what's the next company I'm going to do? I got the next book already wrote. That's right. Drift Again. You're going to love it, man. It's great. But the next book, the next speech, the next topic. But I just want to push and move and encourage people along in life. You don't have to have known me when I was a kid to know me now and grow and have fun with me through this Wired Differently experience. So the eyes have it all. The eyes have it all. The three sets of eyes. So here's what I want to do is I want to start this off with this idea that we're all in this together, right? This work-life harmony. You're going to hear it, this force of nature. It's going to keep coming from me, and we're going to keep doing this. And I'm not going to quit at it. I'm trying to find my lane in this motivational world or this authorship world. Just bear with me because I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep doing these things. But the eyes have it all. And I want to talk about the three sets of eyes, the only three sets of eyes in this world, the only three sets of eyes that we have, the only three sets of eyes that we need to be aware of, right? So that means three components, two eyes, three components. The eyes have it all. So I want to set this story up. So the three eyes that we're going to talk about is one, we're going to talk about my eyes. In this case, it would be your eyes. So my eyes are your eyes. We have our eyes the way we see things. My eyes, your eyes, our eyes. That's what we see them. The second set of eyes is how other people see things. So we have the way we see things, we have the way other people see things, and then third, and most importantly, how God sees things. So we have mine, yours, and God's. Those are the only three sets of eyes that see anything in this whole world. And by the end, we need to understand that we need to, align the eyes. So number one, let me tell you a story that really kind of got me thinking about this morning. And it was many, many years ago. Here I was working, trying to balance life and work, which we all know Todd never made that work very well. So here's the deal. I'm in Cleveland, and I was 28, maybe 29. I don't think I was quite 30, but I was really, really trying to find my lane in this sales world. And as I was driving through Cleveland, I had 3 appointments somewhere around there. And the first appointment was a bomb, and the second appointment didn't go well either. And I drove all the way over there, and I spent a lot of gas money going over there. And the third appointment, as I got there, basically, it was a no-show. So it was a complete bust. And I needed these sales. I needed this pipeline to proliferate. I needed these things to happen for me, for my own, obviously my own pocketbook, my family, my career, everything that was going on. And I was just miserable. And I was depressed. I mean, have you ever been there where you thought things were going to go one way and they go a different way and they get worse and they get worse? And to make matters even worse, it was in Cleveland. And it was snowing and raining, and it couldn't make up its mind what it wanted to do. Well, so as I kind of drove down the road, I left that last call, and things were bad, and my stomach hurt, my head hurt, and I could feel this cloud of depression just slowly depositing on the top of my head and then moving its way down. I don't know if you get that, but I do get that every now and then where I just feel really depressed and it starts to squish down on my head and it feels like this weight of like, I just almost can't bear it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to turn out. And your mind kind of takes off and starts racing into places it shouldn't. And so, I mean, I went to God and I said, God, please. Hey man, I'm not feeling well. I want you to understand. I need your help right here. I know you're a pretty busy dude, but listen, man, you're driving home and I need some encouragement. I just need to know you're there. Please, God, just tell me you're there. So I know it's raining, sleeting, and I know that the sun isn't out and it's nasty. But if you could just part the clouds, right? Just give me a little bit of sunshine, just a little bit of sunshine. That'd be great. And I know you're listening to me. Have any of you ever like cut a deal with God or talked to God? Have any of you ever like been in a situation where you were just Yesterday I was sitting in the pool and a coconut, baby coconut fell from the tree. And now I see I got an advertisement going on back there. So baby coconut fell from the tree, and I said, hey, I'm going to bet myself $1 million. I can throw it over my head and it'll make it 30, 40 feet into the water. And, you set these little games for yourself. You set them in the back of your head and you let them run out and you let those things happen. And you're always competing with yourself in your mind and doing certain things in your mind. But this particular time I'm in Cleveland and I'm wondering what is going on. God, please just show me a little sunshine. Just give me a little encouragement. Just give me a sign that you're really real. Please, God, just open up the clouds just a little bit and give me just a little bit of sunshine. And as I came around the corner, I looked up and what could I see? But what could I imagine was more clouds. No, they weren't just clouds. They were black clouds. Matter of fact, they went worse. It got worse out. I'm like, God, why is it worse? I don't understand how this happened. I just want a little bit of something. I'm not having a good day here. Just a little bit of sunshine. It's not that big a deal. You can control everything in the universe. Why not just a sliver of sunlight? Why not just one just for me? I mean, I'm having a shitty day. Don't you see what's going on in my life? Just this. But no, it's worse. It's hailing, it's raining, it's crap, it's bull crap, it's everything I didn't want, and I was even more miserable than I could ever imagine. And as the depths of the low became of me, I got to thinking to myself, it couldn't get any worse. And as I came around the corner and I looked up to the right-hand side, I can remember to this day, as a grown man, I remember almost being in tears and weeping at how I was going to feed my family and do what I was going to do, and I couldn't even get God on my side. And as I turned the corner, I looked to my right, and there it was. The largest billboard I've ever seen in my life. This billboard was massive. And on this billboard was the biggest, largest, yellowest sunshine. It was a billboard of sunshine, right on the billboard. So why do I tell you this story? Well, I'll tell you this story because the eyes have it all. We have 3 sets of eyes. We have our eyes, we have others' eyes, and we have God's eyes. And in this particular case, I was looking through my eyes, like in business or in family or in raising Courtney and raising Kendra and raising Kara. I mean, I always defaulted to my eyes first. And unfortunately, I did it this time, pleading for God to give me some imagery, some encouragement. And I looked with my eyes to where I thought God should be, right? So we have our eyes, and our eyes only see, they really only see one thing. They see what we want them to see, right? They see what we want them to see. Let me get you on track here. I got some stuff for you. Here we go. Here we go. The 3 sets of eyes. The 3 sets of eyes. I got going here, and I got all my cool stuff that wasn't cranked up for you. So here we go, the 3 sets of eyes. So the first set of eyes is our eyes, and I just told you a story, which I entitled, It's Always Sunny in Cleveland, because, if you think about it, it's always sunny, especially for me in Cleveland. But I was looking through my eyes, and I saw that God was not giving me what I wanted through the way I wanted to see things. I know that life is that way in business. The reason I want to tell that story is another quick idea of what happened to me just the other day. Everyone, I want you to relate to these stories through our eyes. So I had this wall in front of my house in Angola, Indiana, and it's falling down. And this wall has been falling down for years and years and years. And I bought the property knowing the wall was falling down. It was going to go into the water side on Jimerson Lake. But as I saw the wall, I'm thinking, I got to fix this wall. Right? This wall is coming down. And when it comes down, it's going to come hard. It's going to hit the house just below it, and things aren't going to be good. You guys see me out there okay? Is everything okay? I'm trying to follow up here. So here's what's happening. So this wall's coming down. It's not going to come down. It's not doing very well. And here we go. I walk out there, and I'm thinking I got to put a new wall up. And as I look at this wall, I bring out a contractor, and he looks at the wall, and we're thinking about how we're going to build the wall, how we're going to do things. And as I looked at the wall, I thought the only way to fix the wall was to replace the wall. right? To replace the wall. So as I replace the wall, I think about, no. I wait because this is going to be like $40,000. So I wait a few months and I go through and I relook at the wall again through another set of my eyes, right? And I realize that the only reason the wall is falling is because of the drainage. So I don't really need to fix the wall, but I need to fix the drainage. So that's my example of our eyes. I want us to understand the three sets of eyes. I want us to understand that we have three sets of eyes, and I want you to understand how important your set of eyes are from your eyes, Todd. I'm trying to say, I guess I don't get comments, so I don't know what's going on. I tested this, and it looks like on my Facebook that we're having some interruptions, and I'm just going to check here and see if that's happening. Okay, it looks like we're doing okay. So here we go. So there's my eyes, your eyes. We have to understand that our set of eyes. The second set of eyes is others' eyes. So I want you to talk about your understanding about other people's views, other people's eyes. And see, this is where we really get confused because our perceptions need to be aware of not only our eyes. I'm going to build some steam here. So our eyes have our eyes and our perceptions of what we see. I saw where I wanted the sunshine now from God, and I saw that the wall needed replaced now. And when you start to think about our own ways, we only can think our own ways. But I want you to understand this, okay? That's our eyes. The second set of eyes that I think is even more important in perception is other people's eyes. So how are other people seeing you? How are other people seeing the front in front of you? How are other people seeing the way you're acting? How are other people seeing political views? How are other people seeing the way you're treating your family? How are other people see the way you're talking, the way you're walking? How do other people see all these other things? Because it's not just your eyes, Todd. It's other people's eyes that matter as well. And so perception of your perception of the way you see things don't always align with the way other people see things. And how can we have alignment, or how can we have equality? How can we have harmony, right? Work-life harmony if we're not using your eyes and other people's eyes for this alignment process, right? And I failed in that in many cases because I was looking only through my eyes. The first set of eyes, very important set of eyes, but not the only set of eyes. The second set of eyes is other people's eyes, Todd. You have to look through other people's eyes. And I can only tell you why this matters so much to me, because I didn't really understand the three sets of eyes until I went on this quest of even wired differently and understanding these things, because we don't predictably, or we don't purposefully put ourselves in other people's eyes. And I'm going to step this up a little bit. We don't put ourselves in other people's eyes. So I would challenge you to put yourself in other people's eyes, put yourself in other people's shoes. And how do you do that? Well, you have to be purposeful about it. I can remember several years ago, Tracy and I were in LA and we were shopping and doing some things in downtown Hollywood and what was going on. And I remember looking at a panhandler and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, man, there's a panhandler. I mean, does he really need that? Is he faking it? Is he one of these con artists? Why doesn't he go get a job, man? Why doesn't he try to work hard like me? You know, my mind's just kind of swirling with all. I don't say them out loud, but I'm confessing it to you right now that some of those thoughts gurgled in my head, certainly at that point. And I thought, you know what? Wait a minute, Todd. Let's look on the other side. Let's think about the other side. What is it like to be a panhandler? Maybe it's not that great. Maybe it's really bad. Maybe you would understand it if you were a panhandler. Because you only see it through your eyes. Now you need to see it through their eyes. So I asked my wife if she could just go and shop wherever she's going to shop. I turned my shirt on upside down and put it inside out. And I went out there and I had a cup of coffee or something like that. And I went out there and I sat on the corner and I begged for money. So I did that. I did it for probably, it seemed like an hour. But it wasn't quite an hour. It was probably 15 minutes. And finally, I had someone most people said no. I don't know if I wasn't believable. I tried to be as believable as possible. And a nice man came up to me and he says, "Are you really in that much trouble?" And of course, I didn't want to lie, but I said, I don't know about how much trouble, sir, but I really need this. I really need you to give me this money. So I was putting on this panhandler persona. I'd really immersed myself into the job of being a panhandler. I convinced my mind that I could get through this so I could understand how the other side is. And so I finally looked at the man. I said, yes, sir, I need this money. Now, did I need it to get home? No, but I needed it for my spirit. I needed to feel what it felt like to have to beg for money. And let me tell you something. I never want to go back there. But I learned a valuable lesson. I learned the other side. I learned the humility. I learned the plight of the dignity of it. I felt like I just felt not worthy. All of those things rushed through me. I went back, put my shirt back on the right side, and we got home as soon as possible, right? I did another situation like this in Las Vegas one time when I was getting my shoe shine. I always felt weird about getting my shoe shine, but this particular day, this man was shining shoes, and I said, listen, let me shine your shoes, and I paid him to sit down in the chair, and I shined his shoes. He shined his shoes. He said, why are you doing this? And I said, because I want to understand what it's like to shine shoes. Is that all right? He says, well, I guess it's all right, but you don't need to shine shoes for a living. I said, I never know what I'm going to need to do for a living, but I also know I want to know what it's like to be you. And he looked right at me. He says, you're not black. And I said, I understand, but I'm shining shoes. And I didn't really want to make it a race thing. But he said, if you want to be like me, you have to understand what it's like to be black. And I said, I can't do that, but I will listen. And so this nice elderly man, as I shined his shoes and he told me where to put the soap and all that, he went on to explain to me what his life was like over the last 30 years. And he went through president after president after president. And he told me of the plight of his life and the way he perceived life through his eyes. So I don't want to belabor this, but I want to be able to stretch you. I want to be able to stretch your minds. I want you to understand that this life has three sets of eyes. The first set of eyes is yours, your perception of the way you want to see things, the way Todd wants them to go, and the way he's going to make them go, and his force of nature is going to take things, right? But you know, there's a second set of eyes out there, is that the other people's eyes, the way those people see things, and the way that you're going to either trample on them, walk through gracefully, or help or assist them as you go through your eyes and your vision. So 1 is your eyes, 2 is other people's eyes, and 3 is God's eyes, right? I want to close this with the same story I opened it with. It's always sunny in it's always sunny in Cleveland, right? Because to me, it's always sunny in Cleveland, because when I was driving down that road and crying the blues and asking for a sign of God to show me the sunlight, right? When I asked for sunlight, he gave me rain. When I asked for more sunlight, he gave me clouds. When I asked for more sunlight, he gave me hail. When I asked for more sunlight, he gave me more and more crap. But as I came around the corner, he gave me a billboard with a huge ray of sunshine on it. Because that was God's eyes. God wanted to give me sunshine, but he didn't want to give it to me where I wanted it to be, right? I was seeing things through my eyes, and he has his own infinite wisdom of the world and the way things should be. And he is going to do things his way, because then I'm omnipotent in that way. And he saw things, he showed me a ray of sunshine on a billboard. And I thought I was going to see sunshine through clouds. And so my point of the matter is that we have 3 eyes that we need to be aware of, because the eyes have it all. We have your vision. We have other people's vision. Then we have God's vision. And we need to align the eyes in business and in life and in hope, in all the things that are going on. Romans 15:5. I don't get biblical on everybody, but I just want you to understand that God is in charge, and that in Romans 15:5, he says this: now may the God who gives endurance and who supplies encouragement grant that you be of the same mind with one another, right? According to Jesus Christ. So the point of what I'm trying to say is these 3 sets of eyes, these 6 eyeballs, all need to be taken into account when we're doing life, right? When we're doing life, we need to align the eyes. We need to align our eyes, our force of nature, but we also need to be able to see things from the other side. We need to be able to see things from other people. I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to be racial. I'm not trying to be pontificating of things beyond my knowledge. I'm just saying that life for me has gotten so much better, wired differently, when I start to realize there's 3 sets of eyes, not just Todd's 2 eyes. So I can't be the only one in the world out there looking through the 1 set of eyeballs, right? I see a lot of Trumpers out there. I see a lot of the Biden people out there. I see a lot of the righties. I see a lot of the lefties. I see a lot of the Christians. I see some of the non-Christians. I see the business people. I see the non-business people. There's still 6 eyeballs, 3 sets of eyes. And we need to understand right here as I close this up, we have 3 sets of eyes. We have ours, which we have focused on first and foremost. That's how we're wired, unfortunately. And secondly, we need to program ourselves to look at other people's views. We can't even begin to respect our own views if we don't look at other people's views. And last but not least, we must have God's vision in mind. We must align the eyes. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to actually tell you about a cool thing that we got going on after we align the eyes. We're going to be doing what's called a unity rally for medical freedom. I'm going to be at a rally in Sanford, Florida at what's called the Oasis on the River. And I'm going to be the kickoff speaker at a unity rally for medical freedom. So we're going to be talking about freedom in speech. We're going to be talking about freedom with God and worship. We're going to be talking about freedom of what we inject into our body. We're going to be talking about freedom to be people in America. And that's what's going to be going on there. So I want you to remember this. Change your perceptions before they change you. So I want you to do this. I want you to align your eyes, and I want you to change your perceptions before they change you. Because if we're not controlling who we are and we're not looking at who we are, someone else is doing that for us. So I know I gave you a lot here, and I promised maybe the meat of this story and this speech was under 15 minutes, but maybe not. But anyways, I want to tell you that I appreciate it. I hope this broadcast was pulled off with great quality and in the Wi-Fi and all the things that are going on. And I'd love to hear your feedback. And next Sunday, I'll have something even better for you. So stay tuned. I appreciate you following me in the Wired Differently experience. And let's do this thing called life. And let's do it together.